Hey everyone, the Randy Johnson here with you for Real Talk Thursday. And welcome, as always, to this week's Real Talk Thursday. Today's special guest is Lady Queen I Am, Shameka Willis. Welcome, Shameka.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, how are you today?
Doing well. Got up early this morning, said my prayers, did my affirmations, and started writing. So I'm doing good today. I'm on track. I'm attacking the day, and the day isn't attacking me.
Excellent. How it should go. We got to stay on top of these things, right?
I'm telling you. I'm
So,
telling you.
let's jump into today's topic, y'all. So, we have how to cultivate and stand in your gift. So, we've been talking back and forth on various different topics, but we both agree on the tools, the resources, the things to go about doing in order to cultivate and stand in your gift. So, by cultivating, what we mean is basically forming it, getting to know it very well. And if you're on the beginning portion of the journey as far as this goes, we got some questions for you to ask yourself to see exactly what your gift is and how to go about expanding it.
Exactly.
So, during this conversation, you guys are more than welcome to participate. Don't be shy. Questions, comments, concerns, drop them in the comments. We will be sure to reply to y'all. So, let's get into the questions, shall we?
Definitely.
So, we got three of them, three questions to ask yourself. And here comes the first one. I'm going to let Miss Shameka Willis answer first, and I'll add to whatever she comes up with.
Let me tell you, if you're watching this video and you're just starting off, when I tell you Lee Brandy Johnson is bringing you kind of helping you fast forward, that way you can have a great start because that is one of the major things whenever you're trying to discover that gift and find out, okay, why am I here? The main question, the first question you have to ask yourself, okay, who am I? And it goes back further than just, okay, well, I am Shameka Willis, or I am whoever you are, or the Brandy Johnson. It goes back further than that. Discovering who you are, and I'm talking about like on a deeper level. And the way I did it, see, what happens is you get to a point where you're like, okay, I have to make sure that whatever I've been through, it has to be more to life than just going to work, paying bills. Because that's where I was. I was like, it has to be more to life than this. And then discovering these things, reading these things, and trying to figure out all of these things, I noticed that that was the first question that I had to kind of unwrap and undo, discovering who I am. My father would tell me all the time, you are your realest person when you're by yourself. That's who you really are. And sometimes there's things that we have to deal with to help this bring that person to life, kind of help uncover that person so that person can stand up straight. You know how they say, will the real Shameka Willis please stand up? In order, you have to get all of those things that's kind of piled on top of you off so you can discover that person that's inside of you, that spirit that's inside of you.
And that's most definitely true because when I started my journey to discovering like who I am, before I came to the realization that I am the Brady Johnson, there is no other like me.
I know.
I had to unlearn a lot of things that were put upon me growing up or even as an adult because I didn't know how to affirm or negate things about me that weren't true. So
Yeah.
until I learned that, until I affirmed certain things, somebody could say, well, you're mean, you're nasty. Well, you can ask yourself, am I mean? Am I nasty? And if it's not true, then keep it moving. Those things do not need to stick to you just because people say it about you. And where it comes to who am I, um, that question took me a long time to answer. In fact, it took me a long time to even ask myself that question.
Because
So,
it's scary. It's scary because you're like, because once you start uncovering all these things, first of all, in order for those things to pile up, things have happened in your life, situations, circumstances have happened. So in order for things to pile up, in order to be able to kind of remove them to discover who you are, you have to deal with those things again. And who wants to deal with hurt and pain again and kind of revisiting those things that piled up on top of them and realizing that this is when I tell you this is a personal journey that you will have to go on. This is a personal journey you will have to go on, because if you continue to listen to what people say and what they're telling you, that's just piling more things on top of you. Mama can't tell you who you are. Daddy can't tell you who you are. Cousins, aunties, no one can tell you who you are. This is something that you have to do on your own, and also find joy in that journey, in that process. Because a lot of times we look at, oh, well, I'm trying to reach success, but understand success is in that journey, trying to figure all this stuff out. Because when I started discovering things, I was like, wow, that's what's up. I got excited in myself discovering who Shameka was. But the success is in the journey and trying to figure out all these things. And it will be painful sometimes, because there were some things that I end up dealing with that I really never knew still affected me. But
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the tools that we were talking about actually helped me discover that thing. But discovering who I am, my mother couldn't tell me, my father couldn't tell me, my kids, my husband, no one could tell me. This is something I had to do for Shameka by myself.
Mm-hmm. I define me. As soon
Yeah.
as you understand how that works, you will be well on your way to better things that you are actually trying to achieve in life. But like you said, it's important to reflect. But before you begin the reflection process, make sure you put yourself in the mind frame to be objective. Because we've all been through or done things in our lives that we're not proud of or that were hurtful. And we have to remember to look back on those things for the lessons. Don't look back on those things to re experience the emotions.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Definitely. Definitely. I think though, whenever I revisited those things, I didn't even realize it had affected me that much. And
Mm-hmm.
with learning how to deal with that, and saying, okay, what through all of this, there has to be something that either I learned or that was produced from it. Some lesson, or just learning how to deal with the things Shameka is dealing with.
Most definitely. So let's get into question two, which is, where am I from? Now, when we say where are you from, we don't mean like where's your family from, where do you reside? We mean like where are you from? Like where has your experiential journey as a person
Yeah,
started and brought you till now? And how do you need to change in order to go in the direction that you want to go in?
yeah, and look, and that's what I'm saying. It's definitely we are spiritual beings having this earthly experience. So you have to. When I tell you, there's some layers, like some serious layers, you have to begin to pull back in order to discover these things. But these are major questions. When I'm telling you, I put these questions down, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, I need to find these questions out. So just realizing that, where am I from? Okay, I discovered who I am, and understanding that behind closed doors, I'm my realest person, because I don't have to be fake with me. I don't have to smile even when me's not feeling well. I don't, I can be me. So that's the realest person that I am. But then also discovering where I was from, and it took research. This isn't something that happened overnight. And I think especially someone like myself, you have to realize that we're in a type of generation where they believe everything should be microwaved. They want it fast, and they
Mm,
want it like that. But that's not this journey. When you start figuring these things out, this is like a slow cooker type journey. It's gonna be in
yes.
there for a minute. We're gonna have to let it
Yes.
sit. We're gonna have to let it resonate in the mind. We're gonna have to let it sit for a minute, and then we could start reaping the benefits from that. But it is not a microwave thing. And so I had to teach myself that, because even now I have to watch myself. A lot of times we want things now. We want the microwave product, and we end up either burning ourselves, trying to chew on something that's not, that's too hot, not ready
Mm-hmm.
for us to consume, or it's raw, it's premature. In anything that's premature, will do two things: it'll either die or it'll be on life support. And we're about producing, we want to produce something that you understand, okay, this is something I'm ready to work in. I have to move towards these things. So I have to let it grow. I have to let it, do its thing, and not just trying to rip it out the microwave, trying to hurry up and put it in my mouth, and it's not ready to be eaten yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to realize that I have to wait on those things.
Absolutely. And that, I will say, a lot of us, if you're put in a position that you're always told to, like, whenever something goes out of the way, you're told, like, it happened, so what, get over it. When you move through things too quickly like that, and this is what I experienced growing up. I had different instances. Like, I had been bullied at points in times. I had got into altercations. I've had bad relationships, all of that kind of stuff. But I kept moving forward, moving forward, moving forward, not realizing that all those things that I have come through have made me stronger bit by bit by bit. And I've taken all those experiences for granted. And now when I look back at them and I realize where I've come from versus where I am now, that gives me more motivation and momentum to continue on the journey that I find myself on, because my journey is taking me in the direction of helping my brother kings and my sister queens break these destructive family cycles. Now, there are several ways to go about it. The way that I choose to go about it is to educate people on their mindset and how important it is to stopping the cycles. Just because so and so and two or three generations before you have done it this way does not mean it can't stop with you, because we've seen from their example that what we've been taught doesn't work. If they're not in the position that you want to be in, you do not need to feel bad about going ahead and changing how you go about doing it to see different results. And that's something that we need to get very clear about in our minds, because when you choose to fully embrace a growth journey, when you fully choose to work your butt off to get out of the hood or put yourself in a position that you can lift the hood up along with you, because not all of us actually want to leave the hood, but sometimes the situation is just so dangerous, it's not reasonable to stay there.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to make those decisions based on what's best for you and your family and those that are going to come after you.
Yeah. You know, even with this, there was something you just said, and everyone knows I'm a very spiritual type person, but there was something you just said that kind of really resonated with me. A lot of times, even if you want to be better in life and you're able to get removed from a certain surround or a certain environment, let me put it that way, a certain environment, but yet, and that's why I say it's a journey, the environment isn't completely moved out of you. So even though you've moved from out of the area, the environment is still in you and you're still producing those type things. So this is definitely a mindset. Like you said, it is a mindset. We have to learn that, okay, once I grow from this, and if I'm ready, if this is the journey that I want to take and I'm ready for this, that's something, it's going to be a complete, like almost like a stripping, I guess. You're gonna
Mm-hmm.
have to completely strip yourself to where you're naked. Like, I'm starting all over. This is a rebirthing, because I can't take myself out of an environment, but yet still using the same things that I've done before and believing it's going to produce something different. That's actually the
Mm-hmm.
definition of insanity. If
Yes,
you
it
think
is.
it's going to produce something different, that and you've been doing the same thing over and over, there's a reason why it's not working. And not saying, because sometimes we will be working towards something and it'll fail a few times, or there'll be feedback of it's not working that way, and
Mm-hmm.
it's for you to keep trying in different aspects. But understand, and so if it's something close to your heart, you believe 100%, go for it, go after it. But if it's something that's actually killing off, or that's not healthy, or something that may be damaging, you have to not only learn how to take yourself out of that, grow from that, but allow that to be completely stripped out of you also. Because if not, you're just going to create the same environment that you had back wherever you were.
Most definitely. And something else I need everybody to understand, destructive family cycles aren't just found in the hood.
Come on. Yeah.
Well-to-do families got them too. There wouldn't be
Mhm.
so many Medea movies if they wouldn't.
I know that's right.
Okay? So just because I talk about those in hood, my brothers and sisters that are in the hoods, that are in the ghettos, that are in the trailer parks, that are on these reservations, um, I believe they have the most potential out of everybody, because a lot of the mentality is we already at the bottom, so what's the point? If you can shift that mentality and you're already at the bottom, you ain't got nowhere to go but up.
I know
If
that's
I can help you understand that and tell you, like, I don't have that multi-million dollar lifestyle yet. I have businesses that I'm building for that. What we're doing here is helping you be the ones in your families to say, nah, it stops here.
Mm-hmm.
And understand that just because I'm not living in those situations anymore, and I've been fortunate enough to never truly live in the hood, but I have family that come from some rough areas, and therefore I have the level of empathy necessary to see you as an individual, not as what people will refer to as hooligans, gangbangers, street rats, and the like. Y'all ain't none of that. Y'all are brothers and sisters that need the information in order to change your situation. And you need somebody to see you as fellow human beings, not to be underwritten and just overlooked. I see you. My sister Queen right here
Yeah,
sees you. We see you.
yeah, yeah. And let me tell you, those type gifts. Let me let me put it this way: those type gifts are the ones that are also meant to impact a serious nation because and this is how I feel. The devil don't fight nothing that ain't worth it. The enemy won't fight nothing that ain't worth it. And so it'll put you in these type of situations sometimes where it's hoping that, or he's hoping that basically you won't discover who you are because the world won't get to see the greatness in you. If he can
Mm,
keep you down and in despair and fighting for your life all the time because you have to mentally fight things off, then you can focus on that and won't focus on that purpose inside of you. So that's even the more, and that's why I'm glad for someone like you, Brandy, because now you can help bring those type people to the forefront and say, okay, we're going to help you discover who you are and teach you how the tools and what it takes to be able to come out of that. And it starts mentally. It starts
hmm
here first, as people will tell
Well,
you, even in
well, we on this
relationships.
topic. I would like to send out
Mhm,
a shout out real quick
mhm.
because I've been told by many people that helping those that come from the lowest of the low, there's no point. You know who finally told me, yeah, do it. We need that. William King Hollis.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
So, Brother King, if you get a chance to see this video, know that you are responsible for solidifying my determination
I know
to
that's right.
reach to the bottom and help the lowest of the low of my brothers and sisters because I don't see no point in writing them off. I see an untapped power that is unimaginably impactful in a very positive manner if we could but shift the mindset.
Yeah.
So thank you, William Hollis, for backing me up in my desire to help those that would otherwise be overlooked, underestimated,
Yeah,
and devalued.
cause that's why I say, like with someone like you, just putting those platforms out, to let them know, look, you can make it, cause it takes people to tell them, cause sometimes you need to be reminded you can do this, so.
Mm, absolutely. So let's get in question number 3. What am I meant to do? How did you find out what you were meant to do?
By using one of those tools we were talking about, the number one tool, writing. That's what, that's how I discovered it. And to be honest, I was just looking, okay, what gifts do I have? That was, and I started writing them down. I show people all the time, this is my book that I started writing in, and I was writing things, just, and when I tell you I didn't use it up, I didn't use it up, but that's what I started doing to find out what am I meant to do. Okay, I know who I am. I know where I'm from. Okay, well, let me see. And I started writing down just the things I think it's in, I'm trying to think what book it's in. It's in Thoughts Become Things. And I begin to write that down. They tell you write down 20 things that you love to do. And I noticed that it pointed back to a gift called exhortation. And the gift of exhortation is motivating people, it's encouraging people. And I was like, man, I do that all the time. Even at work, they tell me I should open my own business doing that. So then I started digging deeper into that. And that's where I discovered, you know what? I'm here to help encourage people, help motivate people. for them to understand, look, we're not just here to pay bills and to work and to cook, for the family and, have a husband or whatever it might be, but we're not just here to do those things. We're here for a bigger purpose. And that's where I begin to discover what I was meant to do.
Most definitely. And it was similarly true for myself as well. Just reflecting, like I reflected on just different things that I've always done throughout life, such as aside from being picked on when I was a kid, because of that experience, like when I was like kindergarten, first grade, I used to ride the school bus with kids that went to the same military based school because it was a K through 12 school.
Mhm.
So there were a lot of older kids on that bus and they used to torment me. And because of that experience, I did not like seeing other kids get picked on. So the kids that were often overlooked or ignored because they maybe had a disability or they couldn't play like the other kids, those were the kids that I was drawn to because I didn't like feel like I was left out. So I like to make sure other people didn't feel left out. And in reflecting on that, that's how I discovered, because I don't like watching people be overlooked and ignored, especially when they have an extreme level of potential that's just waiting for somebody to nurture. That's
Yeah.
all it is. So that's how I discovered my gift, and paired that with writing, because it took a lot of writing and reflection to come to that understanding. So I
And
do
listen,
things
mhm.
to generate money as far as side businesses, it's business to business stuff. But this this is my true love. This is my passion, and I will figure out how to generate income doing it. But in the meantime, I'll rather allow those same people that we're trying to reach understand, like, you can work on this side of yourself while working a full-time job, because when you get the right mentality, you will see that full-time job as nothing but a stepping stone to the next level. You won't let those people at work get to you as much, because you'll understand this is temporary, but you're going to have to be willing to put in that 3 to 5 years of consistent, persistent, hard work to live off of your gift.
And I really believe that the more you discover this, the less fearful you'll be. Because I was definitely the type, like, I can't lose my job. I have to work this job. But the more I discovered this, the more I realized, you know what? I'm in serious charge of my life. Like,
Hmm.
if it happens, it's going to build me up. Ain't nothing happens that God didn't allow. So it's all good. And that's how I felt. So I learned how to not be as fearful, because we're not meant to have a spirit of fear, but it
Hmm.
says a power, love, and of a sound mind. So if I'm training my mind into understanding how powerful I really am, and it's going to take work, discipline, dedication, trying to figure out who you are, why you're here, and what you were meant to do. Getting up early in the morning, even when you don't feel like it, just to
Hmm.
write some things down before you go to work, and then learning. You can only teach yourself so much. So you have to find people like B. Brandon Johnson, myself, or William King Hollis, whichever avenue you're taking. You have to find those people to help take you to the next level. And then once you've gleaned whatever it is you need to glean from them, then you move on to the next level, and whatever that is and whatever God allows. But just realizing that that's what you have to do.
Absolutely. And so the answer to all three of these things is number one tool. Write. Write it down. If you got time, if you got time to watch a football game, you got time to sit down and reflect on some things and put it on paper. If you got time to run to the club for 4 or 5 hours every one day of the week that you choose to go, you got time to sit down, reflect, put some things on paper, and help discover your best self, right? So get to the point that you're willing to prioritize discovering your gift, cultivating it, nurturing it, because every single one of us has a gift. And that gift that each one of us possesses is meant to be shared. Whether it's with your family, your community, or the world at large, that's for you to decide. But just know every single one of us has a gift. And we have somehow lost Lady Queen I am, but we're getting ready to wrap up anyhow. So know that you have a gift. Know that it's worth the effort to perfect it and share it. Because no matter how big you get in life, no matter how much money you make, if you're not giving back, you will never feel fulfilled. That's something I understand now, and I'm not even at that level yet, but I know I'm going to get there. And I'd rather start creating the relationships necessary for my gift to thrive at its highest levels than allow others to speak on my life that have no business speaking on my life. So that's all we have for you guys today. Before I jump off of here, I am, of course, going to give you guys some information about things that are helping me. Because like I've said in previous videos, I am getting back to the basics as far as my financial know-how. So one of the biggest tools that I'm using is called My Econ. And if you are looking to get your credit in order and learn more about your finances and help to eliminate your debt, be sure to get signed up. Right now, you can get signed up for $14. It's $13.95 to start today. And you also just pay $34.95 a month after that. Now, the tools on this platform are remarkable. And I think it should actually be worth a lot more. But the point is to help people. So the price point is low. So go to thebrandyjohnson.myecon.net. Or if you'd like more information, of course, reach out to me on Facebook or email me at thebrandyjohnson@outlook.com. And in repairing my credit and getting my finances in order, I have also sought coaching by my coaches, Doc and Winter. And if you're interested in learning who they are, feel free to reach out to them on facebook.com/Doc and Winter. And there's all kinds of things for you to plug into, learn who they are, and see if they are somebody that you would like to work with. And of course, these videos are on my page for now, but it will be switching to only my group for the Level Queens, or you can find it on my business page, The Brandy Johnson. And these videos will also become available on YouTube beginning this year. And if you love my guest, be sure to check her out on her YouTube channel, Motivational Purpose, and the link will be provided in the description of this video. And if you would like to link up with her on Facebook, be sure to check out her Facebook page, Motivational Purposes, and the link to that will become available in the video description. So I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. And if you have any questions, any input, if you have a desire to start your own growth journey, we are mentors. Reach out to us. My mentorship right now is free. You get 1 hour once a week to discover what your goals are and create plans to get to them. Or if you're just somebody that needs motivation, if you're somebody that needs help shifting your mindset from the employee mindset to the business mindset, or if you just need to learn how to curb your thoughts, if you're somebody that wakes up and says, I wonder how bad today's going to be, I can help with that as well. Because when you change your thoughts, you change what happens in your life, which is, oh, my girl's back. Hold on.
I am. I don't know what
I
happened,
was
but it's
wrapping up,
okay.
but
It's
welcome
good.
back. I was saying, when people change their thoughts, they actually, okay, not when you change your thought, when you think how you think. When you change how you think. If you wake up and you say, today is going to be a great day, and you list in your mind what you might have going on that day that's going to be enjoyed, allow you to enjoy the day, or something that you're looking forward to, or something that you're not looking forward to, but you know is for the greater good, think of it like that. And the day will come to you, and unexpected, awesome things will happen to you all the time. Change the way you think, because what you put out there, you draw to you.
Yeah. And you know, with you saying that, I learned something recently. How people, you want to understand the science part of it, and this is what it is. Whenever you put something out there, a sound comes out of your mouth, right? And in order to have a sound, there has to be a vibration. And thinking about going to the eardrum, there has to be a vibration. Well, in order for there to be a vibration, there has to be molecules. Molecules hold memory. So when you send something out there, and you keep repeating over and over again, not only do you believe it in your mind, but you're sending these things out to the into the atmosphere. This is what it is. This is what my life is. So I understand now how powerful it is whenever you speak something out. Either you're going to speak life into a situation, into whatever it is, into yourself, or you're going to speak death into it. Like you get to choose which one you do.
Most definitely. But we'll get more into that topic next time we come on. So
Definitely.
until then, thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll be seeing you again next time. Lady Queen I am, you have any closing remarks, ma'am?
Just change your mind so your life can change.
Y'all heard it here.
Yeah.
Later.